Oh, that was a
Hey, that
thing.
I expect Air Zonk to pop out, but I know it's not the case.
Well, yeah, those things are synonymous with like all the Bonk games. But yeah, this is a delight for me. But it's gonna be I don't know how Sarah's gonna feel about it. I really like this, but yeah, we're gonna do a little series overview in this very special edition of Play. So expect to see a lot of fucking Bonk games. But yeah, we're gonna start off with probably the weirdest fucking Bonk game ever. It did not also come to America, as you can imagine, and that's Super Bonk 2.
Super Genjin 2.
Super Bonk 2. Fucking, like, squiggly line, Genjin. Yeah, and funny enough, this game was developed in tandem with Super Tempo 2, which I found really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But then I played the game, and I'm like, nope, that makes sense. Makes all the fucking sense. So, first thing that's really weird about this game, that no other Bonk game has, it has a tutorial area. This whole level is a tutorial stage. You can skip it at any time, so it took me a while to figure that out, considering that, again, the instructions to do so are in a completely different language, and my Japanese isn't very good. Sarah will actually be the helpful one. But yeah, that's one ability you can run.
I don't know what to think about that.
I like it only because, you know, a lot of the techniques for platforming and spanning a certain distance came from the TurboGrafx 16 and its ability to, you know, let you do turbo and then just fucking infinitely spin in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can. I don't remember if that was in another Bonk game where you can just skip off the surface of water.
It might have been in Bonk 3, but I haven't played it, so.
Oh, you haven't played Bonk 3? I love Bonk 3.
It's good. It's expensive though. That's the problem. So.
It's probably the rarest TurboGrafx CD game I have.
CD. It was on HuCard as well.
Yeah. I don't have it on HuCard. I did not know that. I have it on CD.
Allegedly, the HuCard is better for some reason or another. Probably because of multi-layered scrolling, but.
I would have to probably say it's definitely the loading. The loading in that game sucks. Bad.
Oh.
And yeah, now you're a hobo.
Oh, nice. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow and everything.
Yeah, he totally looks like something you wouldn't want to run into a fucking Japanese alley.
No kidding.
And yeah, and then that's his power. He
has like zonkish sort of things, yeah?
Yeah, this is the next power-up. You're
Drag queen, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Ballerina? But yeah, sure, we'll go with drag queen. Rocky Horror Picture Show? Yeah, and then you twirl.
Okay, yeah. All the above, yeah.
Yeah, you don't... I think that's the one thing
Super
you can't
doe-eyed,
really
yeah.
attack. This is also another one. A birdie! But like the angriest looking fucking bird. Like, oh god, like with a Gilbert Godfrey stare. Or like, oh man, I want to say fucking Jackie Gleason. Like, just...
Okay,
yeah.
I'll take Jackie Gleason, sure.
Oh, Jackie.
Man, that's sound up. At first, like, when I saw the intro, I figured it'd kind of be like a friend system, almost like Air Zonk had, except in Bonk Universe. And it kind of surprised me they haven't really done that. But, man,
you know what's funny?
Pretty cool.
And yeah, and there's only 2 Zonk games. I don't think there's any other... It's weird, because, like, well... Bonk was definitely the more of the flagship character that got more support from Hudson. But you think that Air Zonk would get like some sort of, I don't know, revival, but
well, yeah, I mean, Turbo TTI used him as the mascot when they rebranded when the Turbo Duo came out, but
yeah, but then they only gave him one other game. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
He's only got like 2 games. And he's got like a bunch of weird, really rare comics or comic book ads that are in comic book form. But yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
But as you can tell, like, see, so how do you feel, Sarah? Because as you can tell, this is incredibly unconventional to Bonk.
I don't know what to think about this.
Does this even feel like a Bonk game to you anymore, just by looking at it?
At a glance, it does, but I don't know. Something about the inertia on certain parts of your, like when you start time to get going.
Yeah,
and it takes a bit of time to stop too.
But okay, so here's the thing: the game was like Bonk has always been kind of a chunky game where you've never like had a lot of traction. You've never been able to do a lot of things. This is the weirdest fucking power up, by the way, because I can only assume that's a dunce cap, and I think he shouts "Baka," and you fucking right on the words. And I think it changes by, like, bouncing back and forth off. What does that say, Sarah? I want to know.
That's, oh, he sneezes. Aketsu.
Oh, and it sounds like he's actually sneezing. I wanted it to be, like, Baka or fucking something, just, like,
that
really
would be kind
insulting.
of interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would totally, like, you know... I don't know, Bonk has always been like this weird, like, juvenile game. But this game, yeah, definitely does not take itself fucking seriously in the slightest.
It's like the same size as a life.
Yeah.
It's a little smaller, actually.
Yeah, and it's really hard to get off that thing, by the way. I know I'm, like, struggling to get back and forth off. But yeah, this tutorial stage shows off all the different powers, and you're the grossest fucking thing here. This thing is gross. It's seriously, oh, ew. It's so fucking gross. I don't, ugh.
That's the best thing ever.
But, like, it even looks disgusting. Just by, like, the way it grabs onto things. It totally reminds me of that Ren and Stimpy episode where they went to prehistoric times and they made up all the Ren and Stimpy themed, like, dinosaurs.
Okay.
He totally reminds me of one of those. But yeah, that's the end of the tutorial stage. We've just seen all the power-ups. So now we're off to the actual game.
So what year was this made?
You know, I know that it was just developed in tandem with Super Tempo 2, but I don't quite recall the year.
I want to say this is at least 94.
I can figure that out. Yeah. But it's funny, is like this may appear, I'm telling you, as opposed to like Super Bonk.
It looks like something straight out of Super Atragon. What?
Yeah, this game definitely goes back to its roots after the weird direction that Bonk took. Do you remember? And that's something that I'll touch on from here and there from the other Bonk videos that we're gonna do. But do you remember when Konami was gonna reboot Bonk and
yes.
Xbox Live? It was
well, WiiWare is what I remember, but that's when Hudson was still independent of Konami before they were merged.
Yeah, it was Bonk Brink of Extinction. But yeah, it was coming out for Xbox Live as well.
Okay.
And I don't remember what the fuck happened to it.
What happened was that they didn't want to support these super aged franchises. They just wanted to rely on releasing stuff on like PSN and XBLA that's already been developed, like the old stuff, right?
But that's where it was heading towards, though. So, like, I don't know. I heard a lot of rumors, though, from people, like, buddies in the press who did get a chance to actually play it. And they said it really, like, it totally did not feel like Bonk. And I want to say that it was either around the time or during the time that the Rocket Knight reboot came out.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think...
Which, again, didn't feel much like Rocket Knight Adventures.
I don't know. I really liked it. A lot of people will go on to say that it is definitely not one of their favorite treatments of the franchise. But, like, there was only, fucking 3 games for Rocket Knight, and they were always, like, every single one of them are different. Hell, the sequel that shares the same name is different between the 2 versions based on the hardware that it's on.
Right.
So, like, yeah. My one complaint with this game, honestly, by the way, that I want to track, you'll notice, the water, as far as swimming and doing anything in it's terrible. I was expecting some real, like, Bonk's Revenge, like, fucking, like, smoothness as far as how intuitive, like, the mechanics would be when maneuvering underwater, and it's not.
Right.
It's seriously fucking, it's so slippery and gross, like the fucking lizard power-up. You have, like, absolutely no traction, friction, or, like bearing towards anything. But yeah, I don't know. This game is definitely more
Clear.
animated.
It is, yeah. There's way more animation in this.
And I think this might benefit from the fact that it's on Super NES, but I believe,
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but I believe this is definitely the last Bonk game. I don't know, this one, and I would say
there was the one that was re-released on like GameCube and PS2.
Yeah, well, so that one, that's gonna,
it's a remake though, right?
Yeah, it's a remake of the very first Bonk. That's gonna be one of the videos that we do in our Play series of revisiting Bonk. And it's weird because the physics there are slightly altered as well, but I really, really enjoy that remake. They did a very good job of it. It's a shame that it didn't really go on any further to like the other Bonk franchises, but that was weird because like Hudson was making a bunch of others.
So what you're saying is that I should get the one on GameCube.
It's the same thing. It's the same one as I think it's easier to find personally on the PS2.
Yeah, but I've got the means to play it on GameCube a little easier.
Oh, had no idea. Yeah,
I've got the Star Soldier on GameCube as well. So.
Yeah, that was done by the same. Like, it's the volume. It's the Hudson.
Yeah, it's Hudson Best Collection.
Yeah. I always found that and Hudson had, like, I don't know, they had the following, or I would say the incentive to do that in Japan as opposed to America.
They also had Takahashi Meijin Bokenjima, or Adventure Island. That's what I mean to say.
Now, I want to say that we got that as a WiiWare game, or is that WiiWare Adventure Island game completely original?
That was actually completely original.
Oh, wow.
That was the same direction that Bonk was heading until the project got canned.
Well, see, because, like, yeah, when people think of, like, Hudson having any kind of success in the West, it's first and foremost Bomberman, and then, like, maybe Adventure Island. And even then, Adventure Island is definitely nostalgia. Like, Bomberman was the only thing. Well, as in, like, Japan, there was... what's it, like, big...
Hey, these guys, Little Flowers. Remember those?
Dude, the bonus stages are super fucking weird in the fact that they're very game show-like, as you can tell. That guy's nose and his... like methamphetamine much, pal. Like, fucking, like, it's just straight coming out of his fucking nose, and his eyes are just super wily. So it took me a while to really, like, understand, like, this particular, so you'll notice that balloon's fake, so you go right through it, and it took me a while to realize it, but the string isn't fucking, it's not animated at all.
Right.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize that. But yeah, dude, yeah, this shit is, these are all Bonk conventions, but definitely taken for a stranger turn. Now, so yeah, you never really talked to me about, like, your overall feelings about the power-ups, other than the fact that they're weird as shit.
They're Zonk-esque. I don't know. I think it's a good evolution, to be honest.
Yeah, but is it like, do you feel like Bonk is still Bonk? Because the game...
Yeah. I'll give it that, sure.
The game is, like, what makes it special is the fact that it's deceptively nuanced. Like, nothing about the games are ever clear at all. They're very much... I don't know. It's a very trial and error environment with the stage design. I mean, you can just do things in the stage that they are not explained at all, which is why I mentioned earlier, it's really fucking weird that there's a tutorial stage in the beginning of this game. But, like, yeah.
To me, that alludes that there's a lot more to it than the other games, too, though, right? Like, can you save your progress?
No. That's weird. This is definitely a one-shot game. I don't think there's a single Bonk game where you can save your progress. It was always, like, you get, one shot and 3 continues. And then afterwards, that's it. Which, I don't know. This was definitely a game that does get a fucking bit more ridiculous.
No, I was going to ask, like, does the challenge match with the other games in the series? But
this one is definitely toned down a bit.
Okay.
I would say, if anything, like the one thing that that I personally don't care for, I don't know why, but they really fucked with the I don't know, they fucked with the water mechanics a little too much. But yeah, what's funny too is you'll notice it especially in this game. I'm surprised I haven't mentioned it yet, but this is definitely the most kawaii the fucking Bonk has ever been, because that's, you know, that's a big selling point. Like, games that had this like really colorful, bright aesthetic were very popular. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that thing is. It was frightening, but it's dead. But yeah, very bright, like games that, like, you know, I would say were successful that looked like this in the West it was a very Nintendo game. Like, like Yoshi's Island 2, for example. And even then, the way it was marketed was like fucking, like the mid 90s, like the only thing that people wanted was shit that was gross. It was the fucking creepy crawler phase.
Oh, like, yeah. Well, Earthbound certainly fit the
yeah,
fit
I forget what
bill.
The scratch and sniff like smell was supposed to be.
Oh, it was like garbage and like old socks and junk.
So just fucking trash, pretty much. Like,
you could tell what magazines had the Earthbound ad because they reeked.
Oh my god, that's so funny. It's just funny that like they knew they were taking a risk with the game, and yet they spent so much money doing everything they could to just make it stupid and fucking obscure. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but like this whole level right here, I feel like is a callback to Bonk's Revenge. Like, this game definitely, like,
which, by the way, I think we can agree is the best in the series.
Oh yeah, dude, fucking hands down, man. I
love it.
I love Bonk's Revenge. I mean, I like the first one, but you know, the first one's a little too simple for me, and the second one I think had the most personality, but also like the most refinement.
Yeah, that battleship stage, what? It was all made of bones and stuff?
Dude, right? Shit was fucking gnar. But yeah, and then, like, I don't know, it got weird. But yeah, at some point, I don't think Bonk was ever even meant to, like, be as important to the TurboGrafx. It's weird, because, like, he kind of pulled, like,
he was definitely the mascot, but he was underutilized.
Yeah, but like in a generation where he was the mascot to, like, you know, spearhead like the reason to get a fucking console, and especially in a very competitive market like that video games were at the time, it's really weird that, like, you know, the very first game was fucking available on the NES as well as the TurboGrafx and even the Game Boy.
I love how he leers.
Yeah, he, like,
that's great.
I don't like this Bonk. I you know, affectionately refer to him as sexual predator Bonk. I don't fucking like him at all.
That's
I don't
awesome.
think no. And the no way, yeah, I'm glad I'm glad that happened. Every part of me, like, shares a sense of relief that fucking guy is out of my life.
So I might surprise you here, actually. The question is this a legit copy that you're playing?
Yeah, absolutely. Every game that we do for Press Pause Radio is legit.
I was just wondering if it was I was just wondering if it was reproed or not released or something like that. So.
Oh no, this is we're playing this right now on the Famicom.
So the question is, how much?
You know, I think this game's relatively cheap too. It's this fucking bonus stage again. This fucking shit's rigged. It's a weighted wheel, you son of a bitch. Yeah, it's, you know, it's not terribly expensive. Neither is Super Bonk for Super Famicom. Super Bonk is only expensive, like, out here. Because it was one of those weird, like, fucking... Like, most people don't even know it exists, to be honest.
We're looking into it now here. Oh yeah, you can get Super Genjin 1 and 2, well, cartridge only for $24 combined.
Yeah. Oh, there's a cart that has both of them on one?
No. You get 2 cartridges, right? So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
That's cool. Complete, you're looking at about $50, but otherwise, it's not too bad.
You know, I will say if there is one library that, like, aside from the Sega Genesis, because the Sega Genesis, I lied. That's the one library that I do try to get complete games for.
Yeah.
There's one other library that, like, I would, like, not mind getting complete library of. It's the Super Famicom games. Like,
Yeah.
Man, I really like
they come in
design.
VHS size boxes.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something quaint about them that I enjoy. That, like, you didn't really get here stateside. And the Super NES.
So far, 100% of my Super Famicom library is complete.
Huh.
Yeah.
I will say that I've got like fucking 300 Super Famicom games, and I will say that the nicest thing I can say about them is that there's at least, I would say, like 75% of them are really neat looking. The other 25, they have like this ugly nicotine yellow, like, holy shit, please kill me now, I'm rotting away cartridge stain to them.
Gross.
Like, and there's not much I can really do. I want to really get there. Now, do you remember the name of that fucking... I remember it got kickstarted, but there's an actual, like, chemical that, like, completely takes that away.
I remember that, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I couldn't tell you what it's called, but...
I can look it up and find out. I heard it makes the plastic really fucking brittle, though.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So I don't know if I want to risk that.
Well, I mean, I'll risk it on, like, a Super Famicom game. Yeah, this game came out in 95, by the way.
95, yeah, okay. My guess was close.
Yeah, but I would say that this is definitely the last Bonk game that was, I think, developed.
The last, like, series. The last in the series, right?
Yeah, and I want to correct myself and
remade.
say that there are passwords enabled, so you can't save it, but yeah, there are passwords. Yeah, but
you won't keep your score though, obviously.
No, well, okay, so I take that back. I completely fucking forgot about this. Only released in America, and I don't remember what phones play it. But there was a mobile game that was out very briefly called Bonk's Return.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
AT&T exclusive or something like that.
I don't remember. I want to say that this is something that you can get like on most Java platforms. Weirdly enough, Two Tribes developed it.
Huh.
And I want to say I recognize that name from somewhere else. Yeah, dude, fucking I will say that I don't know. For everything that's like adorable. Yeah, for everything else that's adorable and cool, the bosses and enemy characters are really uninspired here. And it's fucking Wario Land what?
Six golden coins.
Six golden coins much? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is another edition of Play, and be sure to tune for more Bonk videos. We have a lot of them to go through. You guys are pretty. Stay that way. This latest Play video from Press Pause Radio was brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/presspauseradio, and you can get access to over 100,000 titles to choose from your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.